Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Victor Gyokores has come to an agreement with Sporting CP over a summer transfer. The striker has, it's claimed, made a verbal agreement that he will be allowed to leave the team if a fee in the region of £50.2 million to £58.5 million arrives in the upcoming transfer window, and that will come as a major boost for all of the Sweden international's admirers. The likes of Arsenal and Manchester United will be relieved to hear the figure is substantially less than his reported £83.6 million release clause. Gyokeres has also drawn links to Europe's best sides, following his blistering time in Portugal after signing from Coventry City. The Championship side hold a sell-on clause that has ensured the sharpshooter cannot be signed cheaply. A move for the 26-year-old is very likely in the summer. Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea have been informed of the agreement, it is claimed by Sky Germany. Manchester City also know, with their sporting director, Hugo Viana, heading to the Etihad this summer. Sporting's president, Frederico Varandas, played down the prospects of an exit for Gyokores last month. Varandas was coy when asked about the Sweden international's future. Gyokeres was leaving in the summer, a year and a half ago, he said. Gyokeres was going to leave anyway. We were champions, and he was already leaving. In January, it was impossible, and it remained so, he added. I'm not going to add to it. It's already very media-driven, and it's not worth talking about the summer market. Portuguese outlet Abola has claimed Gyokeres prefers a transfer to Liverpool, Arsenal or Manchester City over Manchester United ahead of an inevitable summer exit. That is despite his familiarity with Red Devils boss Ruben Amorim, John Dahl. Thomasson has backed the striker. Gyokores, head coach on international duty, has backed the striker to succeed wherever his future leads. Gyokores would be fantastic in the Premier League, he said ahead of Sweden's match against Northern Ireland on Tuesday night. He could play for any club in the world, and he would score a lot of goals anywhere. Him and Alexander Isak are two quite different players, but they're both world-class strikers. Gyokores has scored 40 goals in 41 appearances this term, after racking up 43 goals in 50 outings in 2023-24. Manchester United have Senna Lamens and one other keeper on their radar as Andre Onana's future continues to come under scrutiny. Onana has been heavily linked with an exit from Old Trafford after a string of poor performances since his £47.5 million move from Inter Milan in 2023. The Cameroonian has never quite looked comfortable for United in goal and has been savaged by fans and pundits over some high-profile errors leading to goals. United Report understands that Onana, along with Manchester City counterpart Ederson, are both wanted by Saudi Arabian clubs, with neither club planning to stand in their way. United boss Ruben Amorim is said to be plotting a huge summer overhaul, with up to 8 players, including Onana, in danger of getting the axe. Lamens, 22, is regarded as one of the world's outstanding young prospects, despite playing less than 50 senior games. And Antwerp are hoping that the interest being shown by the two Manchester clubs, Newcastle, West Ham and Wolves, will spark a summer auction for a talent they believe is already worth £30 million. Lamens, who started his career with Club Brugge, is yet to win his first international cap, but was named in the squad for the Nations League playoff against Ukraine, alongside Real Madrid's Thibaut Courtois and Nottingham Forest's Matt Sells. The 6 feet 4 inches stopper is a commanding presence, but also has the ability to pass the ball out from the back with both feet. There is also interest in him from Italy, Spain and Germany, but his premium valuation puts Premier League clubs in pole position. Meanwhile, Lille shot stopper Chevalier is also thought to be admired by Old Trafford officials as they seek a reliable number 1 between the sticks, with backup Altay Bayindir also linked with the exit door after being frustrated by a lack of minutes. United's rivals Manchester City said to be chasing both Lamens and Chevalier because of their ability to play out from the back. Chevalier is set to set clubs back around £40 million after dazzling during 26 games in League One this season and another 10 in the Champions League. City are looking for a new keeper in case Ederson departs after the Brazilian earned criticism for lapses in concentration this season, while links to Saudi Arabia have also emerged. City are also keen on Porto's Diogo Costa, but will have to pay £70 million for the Portuguese international. Onana has made 3 mistakes leading to goals this season, making a total of 80 saves, conceding 40 goals and keeping 8 clean sheets from 29 appearances. Ederson has only made 19 appearances, but has made 2 errors leading to goals, with 48 saves, conceding 23 and keeping 5 clean sheets. Manchester United are already looking ahead to the future during the international break, with many big decisions in the pipeline for those in power. Ruben Amorim wants to reshape his squad in the summer transfer window, while Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his Ineos leadership team are continuing to make unpopular decisions behind the scenes. United sit 13th in the Premier League, with 9 matches of a miserable campaign remaining. Ratcliffe's first year in charge has not been a successful one, with the petrochemicals billionaire making huge changes in a bid to save money. He has ambitious plans to build a brand new stadium to replace Old Trafford, while he hopes that Amorim will succeed in turning things around on the pitch, as the uncertainty since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson 12 years ago continues apace. Marcus Rashford's loan move to Aston Villa has started out promisingly, with the United striker getting back into the England squad after a year on the outside thanks to his form. He has contributed 4 assists for Villa since leaving Old Trafford for the rest of the season, and his future is the subject of some speculation. Villa have the chance to make the move permanent, with United hoping they will stump up as much as £60 million to sign him, given Amorim has no interest in offering him a route back into his starting 11. Rashford has previously been tempted to move abroad, with Barcelona one of his favoured destinations. However, that possibility could be a non-starter, with reports in Spain suggesting that Barca are interested in signing Atalanta's Ademola Lookman instead of Rashford. Lookman would cost around £25 million, €30 million, much cheaper than the England forward. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is facing a backlash to his plans to build a new £2 billion, 100,000-seat stadium on the Old Trafford site. Ratcliffe is courting public money for the scheme, which Ineos claims will provide £7.3 billion per year to the UK economy, 92,000 new jobs, more than 17,000 new homes, and 1.8 million more visitors annually. However, Graham Stringer, a Labour MP and former leader of Manchester City Council, believes it is outrageous that Ratcliffe is hoping to use taxpayers' money to further his own business interests. He told The Observer, "The stadium doesn't happen without public funds. Any representations to local or central government for public money to go into this scheme should be refused." Injuries to Altay Bayındır and Tom Heaton have opened the door for a potential appearance for United youngster Erik Harrison. The Manchester Evening News notes that Harrison has been impressing since being recalled from his loan at National League North side Chester City in January. The 19-year-old goalkeeper was on the bench alongside 22-year-old Dermot Mee for the 3-0 win over Leicester last weekend. The duo were unused substitutes, yet were close to involvement, with Andre Onana battling through illness to play in goal as usual. Harrison has been on the bench for both legs of the Europa League games against Real Sociedad and for the last 6 Premier League fixtures. He has been praised by under-21's goalkeeping coach Tommy Lee and could yet be thrust into the spotlight, like young defender Aidan Heaven. Sir Alex Ferguson named the 3 players he feels are the most underrated he managed during his legendary tenure at Manchester United. In a candid chat with Gary Neville, the Scotsman couldn't separate Brian McClair, Park Ji-sung and Ronnie Johnson as the unsung heroes of his time at Old Trafford. The iconic manager, who won an astonishing 49 club trophies, opened up to Sport Bible about his picks. "There's 3 players, I can't split them. Brian McClair, Park Ji-sung and Ronnie Johnson." He also expressed regret over not utilising Park Ji-sung more effectively in the 2011 Champions League final against Barcelona. Ferguson confessed to Neville, "When I watched the final against Barcelona at Wembley, I should have changed at half-time and put Park Ji-sung on Messi, admitting that it was a tactical error on his part. That was a mistake. I realised after 10 minutes and I was going to do it at half-time, But I said, we just equalised before half-time, they might see the game differently, and we may grow into the game better. We're actually quite good in the last 10 minutes of that game, and we could have been in front. But if I had played Park Ji-sung against Messi, I think we would have beat them. The trio of McClare, Park and Johnson continue to be revered by the United faithful as we take a look at what these Old Trafford legends have been doing since hanging up their boots. The former Manchester United hotshot has evidently switched up his style since hanging up his boots, rocking a bushy grey beard and lengthy locks that have left fans doing double takes. The ex-forward, now 61 and host of Life with Brian podcast, revealed his hairy transformation leads to some entertaining mix-ups with supporters. He said it happens an awful lot more than I ever imagined it would, particularly the fact I'm covered in this lovely grey stuff that's growing out of my face. It's entertaining listening. Sometimes I've been in situations where my name has cropped up and they've no idea it's me, which is pretty bizarre. McClare, known affectionately as Chocky during his playing days, even had a quirky response when people question him on his identity. What I tend to say now when they ask if I'm Brian McClare is, I used to be, which is quite flummoxing for a lot of people. How can you used to be? Who are you now? What are you now? The Norwegian basked in the glory of a successful stint at Old Trafford, hoisting 3 Premier League trophies alongside an FA Cup and a Champions League winners' medal under Ferguson's tenure. Admired for his versatility on the pitch, Johnson served as a linchpin in defence and midfield across his fruitful 5 seasons with the Red Devils. After his departure from United in 2002, he had brief spells at Aston Villa and Newcastle before hanging up his boots in 2008 after a 3-year stint with Vålerenga in his homeland of Norway. Choosing to pursue his coaching badges, the 55-year-old was named head coach of AIK Tonsberg, a team in Norway's second-tier football league. He only spent a year at the club before being appointed as assistant coach for the Norwegian women's under-23s in 2023. In addition to his coaching responsibilities, Johnson has also dabbled in media, working as a pundit and analyst for United games on Norwegian broadcaster TV2. During his 7 years in Manchester, Park Ji-sung became the most decorated Asian player in history, boasting 4 league titles, a Champions League trophy, and 4 League Cups. The ex-South Korea international played just 2 more seasons before retiring, featuring for Queen's Park Rangers and then returning to his old club PSV Eindhoven for the 2013-14 season. Like Johnson, he chose to complete his coaching badges and took the reins of QPR's under-16 side as part of his coaching B licence. After leaving the West London club, Park joined K-League 1 team Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors as their technical director in 2022. He made some bold moves at the club, including bringing in former Chelsea ace Dan Petrescu as manager. However, the Romanian's tenure was short-lived as he stepped down mid-season. Park then transitioned into an advisory role at the club, which saw another ex-Chelsea player, Gus Poyet, take over the managerial reins last year.